What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in a car mechanic simulator with me, the virtual mechanic, and today's beautiful little project. This is our Ford Mustang drag spec modded in by Payne. Absolutely beautiful. Drag edition is the 1969 Ford Mustang. It's done 205,500 kilometers there. We got it from the semi-decent auction house. It would have appeared in the bad one. I just didn't find one in time. Not too bad condition. It's doing all right. Not so bad. We did see at the end of the last episode that I did get a relatively good deal on this one. 25,706 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 31,280, making a lovely little profit of 5,574. But that would be silly because we've got to build this one first. So let's have a look. This one's got the V8 double overhead cam, a supercharged engine in there. Now, out of all of these on this list, the V8 double overhead cam AXK TRS, the twin turbo engine, is the most powerful, but we're going to keep this one with the supercharged. I do have the TRS coming up in another episode and not too far away. Still got 969 factory horsepower on this supercharged engine. It's pretty insane regardless. So let's get stuck into this one. Looking pretty sweet. We need to get it over to the car wash and get it cleaned up, although it's not too bad. Mostly just a little bit of rust on it. Here we are then, with that big old Mustang in the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. There we go, on the body. It probably won't make that much difference, but it's just nice to keep it clean anyway. Looking pretty good. Let's get the interior done when it loads. There we go. On we go with that. Let's get that all finished and ready to go. Looking stunning. Let's get it back on the lift and let's get everything out and start stripping down. God, I do love a Mustang. They look so good. Look at that. I mean, that one is all-time favorite. That's how I would build my real-world Mustang. Slightly different year model than this one. This is the 69. This is the 64, 65 year-ish. But looking pretty sweet. Let's see if that oil pan is there. It is. So we need to get that all drained out. Let's get you moved over. And out you come. Is it going to be clean? Is it going to be dirty? 200,000 kilometers. It's beautifully clean. A well-ish looked after Mustang there. So let's get this one out. What have we got in here then? Well, it's not four-wheel drive. Definitely not there. No, awesome. So it's just rear-wheel drive. So we need to get this drive shaft out of here. Out you come. Nice and easy. Not too bad. One rusty bolt in there. In 8 again. It always happens. Let's get in at starter. Out you come here. And let's get this gearbox out. Now you can see we got lovely side piped exhaust there, just poking out the side. We will grab all of that out now just to make sure. It's only these pieces and that piece there. There we go. And let's get this big old lump ripped out of here. Let's go and grab the engine crane. Over we go. Out we go. My favorite Mustang. Just beautiful. But anyway, back to this one. Let's get that supercharged engine out of there. Out you come. And it did come out. Nice and easy. What have we got in this engine bay then? Is that an engine cover? It is an engine cover that also wraps into the roll cage. You can see the yellow outlines on there. Not too bad. What have we got? So that is suspension, but never mind. We are in. So we have got a large and a small intercooler at the front there. Looking pretty sweet. A wishy-washy reservoir tucked on this side. Coolant reservoir over here. A radiator and a lovely fan housing kit just there. Power steering reservoirs just up here. Brake servo here. Lovely ECU that needs tuning later. And a fuse box just there with all the fuses in, ready to go. Down the back, we've got the battery, fuel tank, and the fuel pump. We'll just grab that pump out of there. Anything else down the back? No. We'll grab the battery out. Look at it. It's in a little casing. Beautiful. Loving that. Out you come. And let's go back down to the front. Are we missing anything from the front? I don't think so. Just that engine block. No. So we need to get all the liquids drained out. I think here's going to be a nice little spot. Right click, additional tools, drain tool, click on the container, and I'll be back in just a couple of moments. There we go, all the liquids drained. Let's start getting this out with the brake servo, power steering reservoir, wishy-washy reservoir, coolant reservoir, and the ECU. Then we just need the fan housing kit and that radiator out of there. And that's all we can do for up here, apart from the fuse box, which I will come back to a little later. But let's check out all of the suspension out with the front wheel there. Looking pretty smart. Same wheels that are on my Mustang over there. Look, there we go. Beautiful. What have we got then? So we've got a double wishbone. The shock is there. Sway bar end link and the inner and outer tie rod. Plus both the rubber bushings and the hubcap and bearing on there. That side's all complete. Normally you can assume when the wheels on that they are pretty complete. But what else have we got? Inner and outer tie rod. Sway bar end link. All of the bushings. and the hubcap and bearing there as well. Fantastic. Let's get this rear one off and see what we've got down the back here. This has got a parachute, so I don't mind what brakes it's got on it, but they are discs. Pretty sweet. Just a little simple one there. Just the one solid axle control arm. All of the U-bolts and the plate are there. Springs all there. The shocks all there. That is looking pretty complete. Other side, yeah, U-bolts, plate, spring, and shock, plus the rubber bushings. Absolutely fantastic. That is a big old wheel. We need to get back up here, though. Let's get this fuse box all stripped out. I'll strip out the suspension, strip down the engine, and then it's time to work on this beautiful Mustang's bodywork. I'll see you in just a minute. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful drag Mustang. But we need to sort the bodywork out, so let's start getting it all off. Off with the hood, out with these fenders here. Don't forget the engine cover. And there we go, out you come. Then we've got a front end. What have we got? Car part 1, headlights. Oh, maybe we can just take the front clamshell off and get the rest of it. There we go. Out with the windshield door. This is a part as well, I believe. All of the trim. Out you come. There we go. Left body window. Is that a fender? That is a fender. Out you come. Anything down here? Doesn't look like it. Rear window. Clamshell. Trunk. Out you come. Rear bumper. That's definitely going back on, that rear bumper. Back around. Fender. Window. Door. And that should be everything. Let's just... Oh, we got the interior. I can't believe I nearly forgot the interior. Out you come, and out you come. And before I leave, that is just part of the body. Fantastic. That's where the battery sits in. I love that. Beautiful. Let's see if we got everything. 1%, that's a good sign. And we're missing car part 4. What is car part 4? Give me a minute. I will find out. Found it. Car part 4 is the 2 rear pieces on this side here. Just covering up the end there. There we go. Now that is everything. Just one more quick double check. Nothing on there. Down to 1%. Frame is at 46% and I paid $25,000 for it. So I'm going to guess... Oh, that's a difficult one. I'm going to say $850. $500. Obviously this one isn't going to sell for too much. Let's get that done. We're going to take a quick look at the body shop. Nothing too fancy. Just going to jump in and take a look at it. There are lots of car part 1, so you can have it chrome or black. Same with car part 2, which sits just on the tip of the hood. Again, chrome or black, a few other pieces. They do all say what they run with, so you don't need to worry about that. The frame there, we can have it chrome or black. I'm probably going to black most of my trim pieces out. Lots of different engine covers depending on what you're going with. Obviously, we're going to pick the same one back on because I like the roll cage, and we don't have the engine sticking out of the hood there. What have we got? Front bumpers, lots of different ones on there. Clamshells, front ends, doors. Oh my god, there's loads of doors. Front fenders, doors again, other front fenders. Hoods, lots of different hoods to play with. A few different window options for black or chrome. Loads of headlights. Going to look forward to playing with them. I think they're the ones we've got at the moment. Might swap them out, we shall see. Tail lights, rear ends, rear bumpers. Rear clamshells, rear fenders. Did I miss a page? Oh, yeah, there we go. More rear fenders, loads of them. Back to headlights. A few different mirror options, which is pretty cool. What have we got? Trunks and windshields. That's pretty much it. I'm going to leave that one there. I don't want to go too much into it. I'm trying to keep my videos short. If I was to cut one of the body strip or the body assembly, which would you prefer? Please let me know in the comments below. I need to start making my videos just a tiny little bit shorter. So I'm going to get on and get everything repaired, replaced, and back on. We'll get it all back together, and then we'll head over to the paint shop. Time to get the old Ford dragster all back together. Let's just get going. I start with the hood. I kept the same hood on there. It looks pretty good. I'm liking that. Along with the fenders, they stayed as they were as well. There was some wider ones I wanted, but this is a drag car. It doesn't need big fat front wheels, so we thought I'd just leave them as they were. On we go. For the front clamshell, I kept it with the front clamshell C there in the same colour. Front end, I swapped to front end F. I think it looks pretty cool. Plus these glow, looking awesome. And then car part 2, I swapped it to some black ones with hood pins and the striping on there. Looking pretty good. Car part 1 also swapped just to a black one there, which is car part 1B. Looking great in there. Then the headlights, I swapped into these beautiful ones here, which are the Fs. Now, the E and the Fs, I can't see the difference between them. I'm sure there is a little bit of one, but I can't see it. Front bumper, swapped it to a painted one with the little trim piece up there, the Grand Touring Garage one. On we go. Looking pretty sweet. Windshield, just kept it as it was. And I'm going to do this now because it's the engine cover, but I'm not going to lift up the hood. Engine cover C, same one that came out of it. Car part 3, which is all the trim, swapped it to black. There we go. And the doors, swapped them just to a black trim one. Makes sense, really. In with the windows, in with the mirror, which I did swap to mirror E, which is the Grand Touring Garage one, and the body window in a black. Kept the rear fenders as they were, because they look pretty smart. They got the air intake there to keep them lovely wheels nice and cool. Also kept the window as it was as well. Let's just get around to the other side and get this all finished up before we get this one finished. In we go, in we go. Rear right fender as it was. The trunk, now, I kept it as it was. This giant drag wing there looks absolutely fantastic. If we go to the rear clamshell, I did swap it out to clamshell E with the like fuel pump holes in it, looking good. And the tail lights I also swapped out to tail lights D, which fit in this one really nicely. Rear bumper, I just swapped it to the paintable version of exactly the same, looking pretty sweet on there. And then car part 4, we just left as it was. I think that's everything for the bodywork, apart from these plates. So we'll get them on. Dragstang, there we go. In we go. Let's get the front one in as well. Dragstang on there. Now, have we got everything apart from the interior? 100%, 100%. Let's get the interior in then. You can guess what I've done with the interior. Yes, I swapped the seat out to my favourite Nismo Recaro seats. And I swapped the wheels to the Bandit wheel. I just think it looks pretty cool on there. Bit large, maybe. Maybe we should take that one out. No, I quite like it. Gonna stick with it. Looking awesome. That is everything done. Now, I'm not going to show you every livery that comes in this one today. There are like 30 plus. So I'm not going to show you all of them. We've seen a few before. I'm just going to pick the one I like in the paint shop, and then we'll check it out. I'll see you in a minute. Here we are in the paint booth. Now, don't get me wrong. I love French Toast livery, so much so that I took his template, or one of his versions, and just made it my own with a few little details. Now, on the normal one, this says a Boss with 302 written underneath there. We've changed ours to Drag in red and added the VM Drag Racing logo down the side. And that's all I've changed. Both sides, obviously, it took a little while because this, you know, it was just all over the place, tuning and not tuning, so on and so forth. These lines, there's actually like 5 of them on the tuning livery. So it took me a little while to figure out which one I needed to line up with the door. But apart from that, nice and easy switch over. I just opened the original file in a photo editing software or some form of editing software like that. And just writ my own drag word in there and added my logo that I have pre-made from another build. In fact, the Atlanticalope, which is also in green. So bit weird that my mind went straight there. I didn't even think about that until just then. But that's what we've gone for. We've got it in this lovely matte finish, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Very pleased with it. Thank you, French Toast, for your beautiful liveries, as always. All the liveries that come with this one are from French Toast. What are we going to do with the rest of it? Well, the engine the engine bay is incredibly black. So I'm thinking about green. Green, black, and red, basically, is what it's going to turn out into, the body colours on there. We may splash a different colour. I'm not sure. It depends how it all looks, but that's my plan. Obviously, a lot of our metal work is blacked out, apart from this big old wing, but I don't think that one can be painted anyway. So, yeah, we're going to crack on with it. Blacked out suspension, I think, most of it. A few splashes of green for good measure. Maybe the odd bit of red if we fancy it. But that's what we're going to go for. Let's get it back on the lifter. Let's get everything painted and start reassembly. That's everything painted, ready to go back on the dragstang. And you can also see I've got my interior sorted. Bit of green on there, bit of green on the wheel as well. Looking pretty good, but let's get it up in the air. And let's get this suspension all back together. Starting with the shocks, green shocks, black spring and a green cap. Looking pretty sweet on there. Quite like that. Let's get underneath and get everything in. And we're going to start up the front here. We've got the small intercooler just in a green and a large intercooler in a black there, just to sort of separate them up a little bit. Otherwise, it would have all looked green there. But we get underneath, front suspension cross member in the green with the steering rack in the black and the sway bar also in a black there. Front steering knuckle in a green, inner tie rod also green, and then outer tie rod black. You kind of saw that come in, didn't you? The bottom and upper suspension arms both in black there, looking pretty good. On we go, on we go. In you go there, looking great. Let's get you together, and then we'll get the shock in there that we've already seen in green and black, looking sweet. Sway bar, end link in a black there, on you go. And, yeah, that's about it. Let's get to the front. The knuckle covers in a black. The front wheel hub's also in a black because it only went a metallic colour. I didn't really want a metallic on there. Wheel hub in, and then the hub cap also in the green. Brakes on, brake pads, and let's get the brake calipers in a chrome green so that you can hopefully see them through the wheels a little bit later on. Looking pretty sweet. Let's get down the back and get the back end all sorted. Green rear drive axle, obviously. Let's jump over here. Then we've got a black shock alternating from the front, and a black spring cap with a green spring. So we're proper alternating from the front there. Black cap on the top there. The solid axle control arms in a black. Let's get the rubber bushing in. I forgot the rubber bushings from the front, didn't I? Did I? I did. Let's just quickly get them in so I don't forget them. Because, yeah, I'm pretty bad at remembering all the rubber bushings. So in you go, in you go. And let's jump back down the back and carry on with that. The leaf spring plate just in a green, and then the two U-bolts both in a lovely little black there, just to finish it off. Looking pretty sweet. Knuckle housing has to be in a black because we don't want green into green. Wheel hub in a green, and then the solid drive axle in a black, mostly for the reason that it wouldn't go green because it goes metallic and it would look a bit funny. Brake disc on, brake pad, and then last but not least, a beautiful chrome green brake caliper. Finishing all that off, looking absolutely fantastic. Before we move on, we'll get the fuel tank in a black and the fuel pump in a green, matching everything. Pretty sweet. And a crack on and get all of this suspension finished, and then we'll move on to the engine bay before we go and build that supercharged V8. I may have said a splash of green and then gone over the top as I always do, but I think it looks absolutely fantastic in a green and black. What a beautiful combination. Mostly in green with a few splashes of black, and then a bit of chrome green just on the top there to finish it off. But let's jump up and get the engine bay sorted. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed I've already got the fuse box in, so it's done and ready. But let's just go in. We've got a coolant reservoir here. What have we got? Power steering reservoir, brake servo, ECU's down here somewhere. There it is, ECU. In you go. Battery in its lovely little box. And then we've got the wishy-washy reservoir, radiator, and its lovely fan housing kit with chrome green fans. I love that. And then the front from the end there, you're going to be able to see that. Hopefully we'll check in just a second before we go and build this beautiful V8 engine. Quite pleased with the engine bay. It's nothing too fancy. If we come out and have a look in, you can't really see too much from the top, but you have got a few little bits in there showing up. But if I go to here and crouch down, you can see the radiator, the small intercooler, and the large intercooler under there as well. It won't let me highlight it, but it is there, looking pretty sweet. Quite pleased with that. Let's go and build our supercharged V8. We've got it on the stand, black oil pan, black block, looking pretty cool. All the clutch and everything ready to go. So let's just start putting it all together. The engine heads, they're just in black this time. Normally I do these a full colour, but it's going to look pretty good. At least I hope it looks pretty good. Let's get the other one on as well. In you go. If I could click on it and spin all the way around at the same time. In we go. Nice, nice, nice. Right, let's get all the camshafts in because we do need to get them on. On you go. In you go, and on you go. Then get all the spark plugs in as well. Let's crack on. There's all the spark plugs in. Then we've got some cam gears to go on there. 2 on each side. There you go. In you go, and in you go. Plus a lovely little timing belt there. And a lovely, oh, if I could click on it, a lovely little timing belt on that side as well. Then we got the timing cover, which is in this sort of matte-ish kind of green. It isn't a full matte green, but it looks pretty good. Everything down here is in a black, so we'll get the alternator on and we'll get the power steering pump on. And then I'll just crack on and get all of the rest of this in ready to get finished off. Just bolting up the water pump pulley, and that's the front pretty much done. We can't do the belts until we got the supercharger on in just a bit. So let's get the engine head cover on in a lovely, lovely green there. Looking fantastic. This is a very body-coloured green, at least it's meant to be. We will find out when we drop it in. Hopefully it's going to look good. Oil filter just down here in a green. We've also got the fuel filter in a green over there. And then we've got the supercharger intake manifold in the black. We've just got to get these coils all in. In you go, and you, and you. Then we can whack the supercharger in, which is in a green on the top there. Same green as the engine heads. It is the same green as this timing cover. It just doesn't quite look it. Fuel rails are just in a black, and then the throttle is in a black there as well. On you go. And then we've got the coil covers blacked out. Looking pretty sweet. What else have we got? Let's get these belts on. In you go. I'll do all the other side of this in a moment. Save you guys some time. Another serpentine belt there. Belt tensioner in a black. And then the last piece on the front is this little idle roller just there. Last piece I'll show you is the exhaust manifold. That is in green. Is it the same colour as the rest of the exhaust? You'll have to find out in just a little while. But that's it. Well, half of it at least. I'll crack on and get the rest of that all finished in a minute. It's all exactly the same. Then we'll grab some pictures and then we'll get it dropped in. Our drag Mustang out there looking stunning. Let's get this supercharged V8 dropped into our dragstang. Off the stand you come. And let's go get you dropped in and see how good it looks. Hopefully I've matched these colours well. We shall see. Let's get you put away. Oh, that green on the supercharger's not far off at all. That's pretty good. And that's looking pretty special in there. Not too black, plenty of green. And then obviously you've got the green exhaust manifolds coming through there. That's looking sweet. Pleased with that. Let's get it up in the air and get the gearbox, drive shaft, and the final bits of the exhaust in. Under we go. Gearbox in a black, same as the engine block there. In you go. Round to the other side, we've got the starter in a green, looking pretty good. And then the drive shaft itself is in a black. Keeping in time, looks pretty good. Quite pleased with it. And then into the green of the rear end there. Now, the exhausts. Did I keep them green? No. No, I didn't. I went black with them. I think they look pretty sweet in the black. Plus, these two pop out the side of the car. Can't see them because of the lifter at the moment. But the green body going into the black exhaust should look pretty sweet on there. That's that all done. Let's step away. Get the car back down a little bit. I've got some liquids to top up. Some wheels to do. The wheels will probably be black, but I'm not 100% on that until I throw them on the car and see what they look like. But that's about it so far, so I'll get that done in a minute. And then I'll see you outside with this car all finished off in the sun. Here we are then, all finished with the dragstang, looking absolutely beautiful. Love this green and black combination. I may have used it once or twice before, but never mind. Let's crack on with this. It looks absolutely stunning. I am very, very pleased with this. Livery, base livery by French Toast is included. It obviously won't say drag. It will say Boss with a 302 under there, and it won't have the VM drag racing. Apart from that, everything will be about the same. Looking pretty sweet, though. Again, very, very pleased with it. Let's talk about these rims. This is the rim Retro 11. The front rims here, I've kept them as the same as they were because they fit this vehicle brilliantly. So I've kept them as they were. 15-inch front rims with 135 width on that one and a 75 profile there at the front, and my green calipers shining up through. They're chrome green, but they don't look like it. They look very similar to the body just there. They're not. They're definitely full chrome. At the back, slightly bigger with a 16-inch rim, massively wider with a 345 width and a 45 profile on there. Obviously, I've gone for a bit of green on my wheels to get the text in green. Looking pretty good. I really love this. I'm a big fan of Mustangs. We all know that anyway. That engine looking absolutely beautiful. Very, very pleased with it. Let's jump inside, check out the interior. Obviously, I've got my seat and steering wheel painted. Very open sort of frame, just ready for drag racing in here with fire suppression as well, which you definitely need on the drag strip. Well done to Payne for all of this. Looks absolutely fantastic. Let's get this one started up and see what she sounds like. We've all heard the supercharged V8 before. We're just giving it some gas to show off. Very mean sounding at the top end on there. While I'm here, I just want to say I used Rocker 2012's photo location today. First time I've used it in a little while, and the lighting is much better on it. Thank you, Rocker, for fixing that. Very happy with that. Now, let's get this one over to the dyno, see what horsepower we've got today, and see what our drag rating is. Here we are then on the dyno with the Ford Dragstang and its V8 supercharged engine with 969 factory horsepower. How much have we added today with our performance parts and tuning? Let's find out. Wow, gain of 1,138, 118%. That's pretty high, bringing our measured power to 2,107 horsepower. That's pretty epic. And a drag rating of a 999. We're back in with the high numbers. Let's check out the gearbox tuning setup for today. Let's head on over. There we go, a 2.25 ratio with 108 kilometers an hour in first gear and 521 in top gear. I don't know if we'll quite get there, but we will find out in a moment. Fully tuned ECU and no carburetor on this one. So let's get it over to the drag strip, enter a tournament, and see how the Dragstang can do. Here we are back at the drag strip for another King of the Sands tournament featuring today's build, the 69 Ford Mustang Drag Edition, or Dragstang as we've been calling it. King of the Sands, 1 mile, and obviously we're in A class. Pay our entry fee. Who are we up against? We're up against the GT66 Ford Mustang. That's pretty sweet. Who've we got with us today? Anyone I know? Country Thang. I don't know who that is, but is a friend of mine. I'm not 100% sure. I do apologise to you, whoever you are. I am sorry. Killer, there you are, just sitting there. Multiply as well. Lovely work. Let's get in and get our race on against the Ford Mustang GT66. There's the GT66 Mustang. What my dream Mustang was based on when I built that one a couple of times ago, a couple of episodes ago, weeks ago, probably even a couple of months ago. I honestly can't remember. But let's see if we can beat it. Let's jump back inside. Our steering wheel is no longer green on the drag strip. It just shows up white. I don't know why that is, but let's get this one going. Let's get started. Off the line and away we go. Into second, into third. This thing is absolutely insanely fast. Into fourth gear, we're already above 300 kilometers an hour. This thing is insane. Into fifth, where's the GT66? Still quite far behind us by the looks of that. What are we going to cross the line at? I look like 508. It was 508 and 8.573 to the quarter of a mile at 313 kilometers an hour. Very, very good, with an 18.889 to the 1 mile and a top speed of 508. Sorry, GT66 Mustang. We absolutely demolished you. Let's get on to the next one. Multiply's still in there. Killer's still in there as well. And we are up against the Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta Electric. That could be a bit of a challenge. I'm not quite sure how that one's going to do on the drag strip, but it beat the Skyline at GTR 34 Drag, I believe. So let's get into it and see how we do. That Ferrari 250 GT is a beautiful looking car, but it's the electric version. Can it beat a supercharged V8 Ford Mustang, a dragster? Let's jump inside. Let's get this one started. Off the line. We didn't jump the lights. I'm always happy when that happens. Into second, into third, pulling away. Very happy with that. Into fourth. Oh no. Oh no, I don't believe it. The electric Ferrari is not going to, surely. Oh no, looks like we pulled away from it now. That's all right then. I got very worried then. Was that any better than the first run? Let's find out. An 8.651. Not quite. Bit of a shame. And an 18.991. Again, not quite. But the same speed at 508 kilometers an hour. That's pretty much where we lost the GT Ferrari. Yeah, it started off well against us, and then it just topped out with 369 and couldn't catch up. Let's get into the next one. Sadly, Killer, Payne, you are out, and Multiply, you are also out. The last 4 cars are another GT Berlinetta, the electric one, a Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn version 2, and we are up against an electric Ferrari 250 GT. Can we beat this one? I'm pretty confident we can, but it might be a different tuned spec, so let's find out. Oh, that blue on black is very, very nice. Like that very much. Looking stunning. Hopefully we should just be able to demolish this one. So let's just get inside and let's go. Off the line. We didn't manage to jump the lights. I think that's probably the only thing that would have stopped us on this one. Into third. Oh, he's pulling away. But will he top out the same as the last one? I'm hoping so. There we go. That looks to be it. Off you go. See you later. We've got this one in the bag. Are we going to do any better than the first run, though? That looks slightly slower on the top speed. It was with a 507 and the 8.804 slower once again, and a 19.204 slower again. But we absolutely demolished the Ferrari 250, so let's get into the next one. Well, there we go. We're up against another Ferrari 250 GT Electric Berlinetta, or however you pronounce that. So we'll just get into it. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to beat it again, so let's just go. Silver on black this time. Still looks beautiful. I think that car would look good in almost any colour. So let's jump back inside. Hopefully demolish this one and let's go. We didn't jump the lights. We're in for a good chance of winning this one. Into second, into third. It's probably going to pull away from us just a little bit. Into fourth. There it is. Is it going to top out? Looks like that's it. There we go. Bye-bye. See you later. Are we going to do better on our final run? I sure hope so. Let's get through it. Looked like we got 508 again. We did. 8.736, still not as good as our first run, and a 19.096, again, not as good as our first run, but we won a tournament again, thank Jesus the Lord, whoever it is you pray to. Let's get on and get back to the garage after collecting our winnings. There we go, 11,250, obviously minus our 1,000 entry fee, leaves us 10,250 profit already. Let's get back to the garage and let's see the rest of this and get this one onto the speeder board. There it is then, the 1969 Ford Mustang Drag, or the Ford Dragstang, in a 5th place, pushing the Bolt Reptilia R6 off of the speeder board. 2,107 horsepower, 8.573 to the quarter of a mile, 18.889 to the 1 mile, actually third place in the 1 mile there. 508 top speed, that's pretty good. Does that put it second in speed? It does, with a 316 mile per hour. We're keeping all of ours on the quarter of a mile time, and that one with an 8.573 is definitely very good. But let's go and see it, and then we've got to send off our beautiful Ford Dragstang. There it is, all finished. Let's get it all open up so we can have a quick little look around the whole thing. Love that engine. It's absolutely beautiful. The interior is pretty good. You can see the wheel is back to green now that we're no longer at the drag strip. I don't know what that is, but Metzi, or sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong, the creator of the Quality of Life mod, is looking into it, and hopefully we'll get it updated soon. But let's talk about some facts and figures. If you stuck around for long enough at the beginning, you'd have known that I bought this car for $25,706, making a profit of $5,574 there and then if we'd have sold it, but we didn't. Obviously, we put all the performance parts on this, painted it to look absolutely fantastic, spent loads on this one. It is beautiful. We spent $70,486 on parts and painting, giving us a total spend of $96,192. I'm very, very pleased with this one. Also, the suspension in this looks beautiful. So proud of the whole thing. It looks fantastic, and we managed to get it 5th on the speeder board, which is epic. Let's get it all closed up then. Oh, missed that one. There we go. And get ready to send this one off. Now, it is the drag edition, 205,000 kilometers. We barely added anything at all. All now fully finished off with a 2,107 horsepower supercharged V8. Pretty epic, up from 969, a gain of 118%. But can we make a profit? Our total spend is 96,192. Whoa, that's close. 101,242 is the sale price. If we take away what we spent on it, it leaves us with a profit of 5,050. So if we didn't get a good deal on the car at the beginning, we would have lost out. We lost out quite big there, but we wouldn't, because we managed to win the drag race, so we clawed it back anyway. 11,250 from the drag race minus the 1,000 entry fee. 10,250 leaves us with a profit of 15,300, exactly on the nose. So we still would have made some money. Not as much as we'd like to, but some money. It's time to say goodbye to the Dragstang. Off you go. I definitely enjoyed that. I love a Mustang. What have we got up next? Well, we're keeping with the drag theme. We've got the Nissan Skyliner drag up next. This one is absolutely insane. Can I get to the door? There we go. Nissan Skyline GTR R34 drag. Already got a rating of A999, although I haven't dragged it, but that's just because of how good quality this one is. Got it from the nice auction house. It is incredible, but we are going to make it better. This one's got on it the i6 double overhead cam BU2 turbo, 1,554 horsepower. Maybe we will keep that one in, because I think the V8 double overhead cam AXK might make that absolutely insane. So maybe we'll keep the i6 turbo in there. We shall see. Did I get a good deal? No. I spent a lot. 146,472 is what I paid for it, and I could sell it for 138,786, losing out on 7,686. But hopefully we'll be able to claw that one back. That's it for today's, though. I can't wait to get stuck into this drag Skyline in the next one. It's looking beautiful. I really do love it. Absolutely fantastic. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful day. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Obviously, we want more subscribers here at the Virtual Mechanics YouTube channel. We're aiming to get up to 1,000 as soon as possible. I set myself a micro goal a little while ago of 500 before the new year. Somehow I don't see that happening, but it's worth a shot. Be awesome if we could get there. So if you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button. Share this video as far and wide as you want. Share it with your friends, especially if you think they'll enjoy it. Otherwise, leave a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of today's build or anything I should build in the future. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.